Welcome back to On the Couch.
The Rowan University Police Department would like to remind faculty, staff, and students they are offering active training shooter awareness. With us to discuss is Sergeant Fitzgibbons. Sergeant, welcome to On the Couch, and you just explain to us what exactly this training is.
Well, active shooter training is to prepare faculty, staff, students, whoever wants to attend, how to better prepare themselves if an incident was to arise. It kind of gives you a little bit of background on, what type of incident it is, that it's not just, maybe a bank robbery or something like that. This is the type of incident where somebody or persons intend to cause as much chaos and harm as they possibly can in a dynamic incident, something that's rapidly evolving. And that training prepares people kind of for what we call is the run, hide, fight theory. In a college campus, we try to teach the run, hide, fight theory. So with the training, the best thing you could possibly do is run and get away from the problem. Sometimes it's not safe to do so. Maybe the shooter's right outside the door, a couple classrooms over, you can hear the gunshots. Then we teach people how to hide, how to properly do that, the best way to do it, how to secure the facility that you're in. And worst case scenario, if you become, say it's in a small environment like this and you're confronted by the suspect, how to handle those type of situations and fight your way through it.
Sounds good. So who are these, who do you think should come most? Do you think it's really for teachers, or do you think it's really mostly for students, or is it really just for everybody?
Really, it's for everybody. I think if you take any type of leadership role at this university, be it an RA, be it somebody that works at the student center, be it anybody that has an employment position or some kind of role, even in a fraternity or sorority, if you have a leadership role and people are going to look at you for leadership in any type of incident, it's probably something that you should attend. It's only an hour in length, so it's not taking up much of your time. We try to make it at different hours to try to make it as convenient as possible for everybody. And if you have a large enough group, we'll even come out on your hours. Say it's a fraternity or sorority or a group. We'll come out on your hours when it works most conveniently for you to try to present this.
I see you're a Rowan police officer. Can you explain to us what the similarities and differences that is from being maybe just a standard Glassboro police officer?
We both share the same police powers in the state of New Jersey. Glassboro and Rowan Police, we work very well together. We work together jointly pretty much every weekend. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights, we'll send two of our officers to their station and work hand in hand with them. Talking about the active shooter stuff, our training is done jointly. Because if something happens in Glassboro or happens at Rowan, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're definitely going to be working together on those type of situations. When you look at some of the active shooters in the past, Columbine, Sandy Hook, police officers coming from 50 to 80 miles away to come help with these incidents. So the local municipalities are definitely coming to help us, and we're going to help the local municipalities in that. So we train jointly to get the best, most realistic training. We use simulations, which is essentially converting our firearms that we carry on duty over to a paintball type round. So this way it's as realistic as possible. Officers' adrenaline gets hyped up and everything else and gets them really going so that they understand and they focus in on what their task is at hand.
In regards to the training, where and when are they held? So if I wanted to bring out two of my friends with me, where could I go?
The next one is actually Thursday at noon in the Student Center. There is announcers that are put out, and we try to make sure that everybody sees those announcers. And if you're interested in one of the ones that, another date or time and those dates and times aren't convenient for you, you can contact Public Safety at 856-256-4922 and get in touch with me, Patrolman Augusta, Director Layton, or any one of the police officers, and they'll point you in the right direction, and we can organize something for your group or set you up with another group maybe to fit in with them if those times are more convenient for you.
Now, there's been maybe a recent spike in shootings on college campus. Do you have anything you think that causes that?
Well, the FBI has done a lot of studies on this, and from 2000 to 2014, there was 160 incidents that occurred. When they documented from 1966 to 2013, there was only 233. So you look at that 14-year period where there's a drastic climb in active shooters. More specifically, 2010, I think, it was 26 incidents across the country.
Yeah.
There's not one single thing that says, hey, this is what's causing the rise in it. A lot of it is copycats. Social media, they're seeing this stuff, and they're seeing the attention that the suspect's getting. If you look at some of the incidents that occur, we remember the suspect's name. The suspect's name is posted all over the news, not the victims. And one of the recent active shooter incidents, the sheriff from that county actually tried to make sure and try to keep that suspect's name minimized to not give them that attention and not give them that publicity behind it. But a lot of it, they're saying, has to do with the publicity that they get behind that.
You talked about running before as like one of the tactics to dealing with things. If I was ever in a bad situation and I needed to run somewhere and I needed like a cop or something, where do I run to?
Well, our public safety station encompasses both our police, security, and our dispatchers, which is right in Bull Annex, which is next to Bunce Hall. I think that's one of the most common buildings that everybody knows here, but right next to Bunce Hall, you'll see our police cars if you're on one side of the building and Bunce is on the other side. You could run there, and we also have emergency code blue phones that you'll see like light standards, light poles that have a blue light on top of them. If you press any one of them and just say you're running and you keep pressing them, we're going to start following that trail of where you're going. Maybe you don't have time to say something into the microphone, but you're running from somebody. If you can press them as you're running, we're going to start checking that path and start seeing where somebody may have went, and trying to locate that person and see if there's any problems going on in that area.
So if there is, let's say, another incident like the FBI warns, how do you and the rest of the officers kind of prepare for that?
Normally every January we do an active shooter training, the simunitions training. We do additional training throughout the year, but because of the school being on winter break, we actually get to utilize the buildings that we work in and that we need to protect, and get to utilize those buildings to learn, movement throughout those buildings, how to prepare, how to get through certain locked doors, and making sure that we know how to handle situations in those buildings and how to, best move efficiently through those buildings to locate a suspect. Our number one goal is law enforcement, which we learned back in 1999 when Columbine happened, was we can't just sit outside, set up a perimeter, and make sure the bad guy doesn't go somewhere. Our goal now as patrol officers isn't wait for a SWAT team to come and remedy the situation. Our goal is, as patrol officers, to form a contact team and stop that threat immediately. The timeline of violence in an active shooter is normally only about 7 minutes, and they say about every 28 seconds, statistically, someone's either injured or killed. So obviously that window of opportunity for us to stop that threat is very small, and we need to stop the threat as quick as possible. So that's what the main focus we have for our officers. And then forming rescue teams, how to help the injured persons. We've had Cooper Hospital come in, and then paramedics, and give us training on how to apply tourniquets and everything else to save someone's life.
Officer, thank you for coming on the couch. Thank you for doing what you do. God bless you.
Thank you. Appreciate you having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that wraps up this edition of On the Couch. Remember, weekdays at 8:30 every day. Thanks for watching.